Let the galaxy burn.
Hi guys, Skypoint here, and I'm just making a quick video to talk about the latest balance changes that just dropped tonight for Horus Heresy Legions. Alright, so we're looking at 5 cards which are different. Now 3 of the changes affect, I think were driven by the fact that Horus decks were just absolutely dominating the ladder by the end of the last season, and the developers are trying to balance that out because a couple of cards came together to make Horus practically unstoppable. Anyhow, let's start with Horus himself. So if we take a look at him, things look mostly the same except this line in the middle. Initiative medium. That means that Horus is no longer always going to be going first unless he faces a high initiative warlord. And it also means that those high initiative warlords now have a valuable edge over Horus when they face him. Honestly, the high initiative gave him a huge edge over a lot of other decks because it meant that he was likely to hit the 8 energy turn first and play Vengeful Spirit before other players could put their own powerful 8 energy units or tactics into play. So this is going to be already slowing down Horus. But there have been big nerfs to 2 of the cards which were really helping Horus to get ahead. The first of these comes in at 5 energy with Firewalkers. Notice what's different with these guys? They still have their effect of giving neighboring units +1 attack, but they no longer have stealth. That's been a staple of the game since the beginning. Like, I've been playing this game for over a year pretty much. And Firewalkers with stealth has been a real common card across many decks, and I think the developers finally realized that, you know what, this card is so good it goes in practically every deck, and that's usually a sign that it needs nerfing. So Firewalkers no longer have stealth, meaning you're quite likely to be able to kill them now before they attack and do their whopping 5 damage. Also, speaking of attacks and whopping damage, everyone's favorite, Beast of Phyra, has been changed. So the developers changed 2 things about this. First of all, they lowered its health from 6 to 5, which is a slight adjustment. It's probably not going to stop the Beast of Phyra from still doing 2 attacks before it gets killed. It's just going to make it slightly easier to kill at the end of it all. But the real difference this makes is look at the maintenance cost. It's gone from being maintenance 2 to maintenance 3, so playing the Beast of Phyra is really going to throw you off the energy curve and force you to spend a turn playing weak cards if you've got the Beast in play. So a lot of people are thinking that this is actually a really big punishing cost, and it's probably going to cut down the number of people who are willing to play this. And I think this is a nerf which was really needed because the Beast was just out of control. You pretty much had to have it in every deck, and in some decks it could just turn into this huge snowball, especially Horus, because you'd often stick 1 or even 2 Bane Strike rounds onto the Beast of Phyra, and then it was just unstoppable at that point. So alright, so these were a couple of the changes which were designed to slow down Horus in particular, but in the case of Firewalkers and Beast of Phyra, they also nerfed cards which were probably too powerful, given how commonly they were being used across almost every deck. Okay, now the remaining 2 changes affect the Space Wolves. Okay, now the first one is actually going to affect probably the least used Space Wolf warlord, Iman Russ, who now has a really cool ability. Before, it used to be with Leman Russ that you would spend, I think, 2 energy, you gained +1 attack, and then you gained Bloodthirst so you could attack again. That was kind of lame. They've now changed it, so now it's 1 energy to gain +1 attack. You no longer have Bloodthirsty, but now you gain a pack action. Every time one of your own units attacks, Leman Russ can act again. So you can start a turn, buff yourself, attack with a unit, then buff yourself, attack with a second unit, and then attack with Leman Russ. It's also kind of cool in that he becomes kind of useless if you keep killing his men. So if you're facing Leman Russ in the Space Wolves, your priority is going to be making sure he does not build a board presence, and that's probably more important than even just trying to kill Leman Russ. So that should make the game a little bit more interesting. The other change is Ohthere Wyrdmake. So his energy ability hasn't changed at all, but before his passive used to be that at the end of his turn, you used to heal one of your troops for 1 energy. Sorry, not 1 energy. You used to heal 1 point of health to one of your troops for free, and now they've changed it to, instead of being troops, it's now heal 1 to one of your units. That means if he's the only guy on the board, you're guaranteed that he's going to heal himself by 1 point. And I think that's really interesting. It actually goes pretty well with his energy ability, because it means that potentially he can be healing himself for 3 points every turn, which turns him into a bit of a nasty little guy to face. Alright, well, those are the balance changes. I haven't tried playing the game since those have dropped, so I'll be trying that out over this weekend, and with any luck, posting up some videos. Alright, until then, bye guys.